Hi there. Today I'll be taking you through the basics of Raha Last Man Standing, an adaptation of the classic game cricket. I'll be comparing basic cricket with this alternate version and providing you with strategies that will ensure the best possible outcome, provided the rules are followed correctly and practiced. I'll also be providing you with coaching tips and a demonstration of 2 out of the 3 key techniques in cricket: batting, bowling, and fielding, for your own personal benefit. Right, let's get started. Let's take a look at the original game of cricket. Cricket originated in England in the dense woodlands of the southeast. It soon became the country's national sport by the 18th century and has developed globally in the 19th and 20th century, and has come to be universally known as a sport. The traditional version of the game, Test match cricket, has been rivaled in popularity by shorter, spectator-friendly variations over recent years. These types are mostly differentiated through their set of rules. However, we'll be focusing on the basic globally known version of cricket. Let's take a look at the rules, shall we? Here are a set of rules that must be followed in the game of cricket. 22 players are divided into 2 teams. Each team has 11 players on the field. 1 person on each team is declared a team captain. This person is primarily responsible for making sure there aren't more than 11 players on the field at a time. The games are compromised in which at least 1 inning takes place, and each team will take turns in batting, fielding, and bowling. The fielding team will have a bowler bowl the ball to the batsman, who will then attempt to hit the ball with their bat. Now, there are multiple ways the fielding team can get the batsman out. Here are a few. Number 1, bowled out. If the bowler bowls the ball and hits the batsman's 10 wickets and knocks over the bails, he's been bowled out. Number 2, caught out. If the batsman hits the ball in the air and it's been caught by a fielder, he's been caught out. Number 3, run out. If the batsman runs for his partner's crease and the ball is thrown into the wickets before the batsman gets there, he's been run out. Number 4, LBW, or leg before wicket. If the ball hits the batsman's leg and the umpire thinks it would have hit the wickets, if his leg wasn't in the way, he is ruled out by LBW, or leg before wicket. Number 5, stumped out. If the batsman swings and misses the ball, the wicketkeeper can catch the ball and push the ball into the wickets. If this happens before the batsman can return to the crease, he's been stumped out. And number 6, hit wickets or accidental out. On the off occasions, a batsman can get himself out or his own partner out by accidentally hitting the wickets themselves. Once a batsman is out, he's replaced by the next batsman in the batting team's lineup. Well, what about the batsman? Well, the batsman's job is to try and secure runs, and they can do that if a batsman hits the ball and both men return safely to the opposite crease. This results in 1 run. If the bowler bowls a high, wide, or no ball, which is an illegal bowl, this automatically scores 1 run. If the batsman hits the ball along the floor and it reaches the boundary, they score 4 runs automatically without the batsman having to run. And finally, if the batsman hits the ball in the air and it goes over the boundary, this scores 6 automatic runs. This is the highest scoring play in cricket. Consequently, the aim of the game is to score as many runs as possible before the fielding team takes 10 wickets. The team that ends up with the most runs wins. These rules are all enforced by the umpire. Cricket umpires are responsible for making decisions and calls in the game of cricket. They also ensure that players and matches follow the rules of the game, taking a similar role to referees in other sports. Now, as mentioned, there are multiple variations of the game. Let's address the differences between the main game of cricket and Raha Last Man Standing. In terms of rules, Last Man Standing has minimal changes to the game. It's just the way it's formatted that's different to the main game. Let's compare, shall we? In the original game of cricket, wides and no balls are not repeated, just like in Raha's Last Man Standing, but the original game rewards the batting team with 1 run rather than 2, which is the case for Raha Last Man Standing. Another rule that's proved to be different is a double play. In the original version of cricket, double play doesn't exist. However, in Last Man Standing, double play allows for the fielding team to take out 2 strikers at once, which is hugely beneficial to them. For example, if one gets caught, they're both out. But this isn't the case in the real game, because if one of them is caught, the ball is considered a dead ball, and a dead ball cannot take a striker out of the game. In RLMS, all batters retire at 25 runs but can return to the game if the rest of the batters are out. In RLMS, the teacher and/or student may wish to apply the one hand, one bounce rule to make the game flow more. This means that if the ball bounces once and a player catches with one hand only, the batter may be given out. Catcher may not drop a normal catch, let it bounce and recatch. This isn't valid in a professional game of cricket. And lastly, in Raha Last Man Standing, if a batter misses 3 consecutive fair balls, they are to swap with the non-striker. However, in the main game, batters are given 6 fair balls before they have to switch with another striker. Strategies. Bowling or bowl dry. How do you bowl dry? The key is simplicity. You bowl from outside the stump and set a strong offside field. This prevents the batsman from scoring, increases frustration, and forces an error out of them. There is one main aspect when it comes to this tactic: areas to hit. The line and length have to be good because straying slightly is costly. Straight balls have little defense and can be hit into larger gaps. Your margin of error is bigger lengthwise, as you can over or under pitch and get away with the ball struck hard into a well-defended off area. However, if you stray your line onto the stumps, you open up the undefended onside. According to Pitch Vision, this approach is similarly useful in the middle overs of limited over games. The batsmen are more aggressive than Test cricket, but are forced to only use half the outfield to score. In fact, it can also be used to slow down the start of a limited over innings or at the death to manage where the ball is going. For batting, there's the batting order. The batting order is determined by the skills and abilities of the player. A smart tactic is to put your better batsmen in the earlier innings, meaning your team gets to benefit as they rack up the runs. The best batsmen understand that they need to be flexible when choosing their batting techniques. Certain bowlers present certain challenges, so take their strengths and weaknesses into consideration, and assessing who should be where on the batting list will provide the team with the best outcome. This tactic works if your team is the batting team in any game. And for fielding, the double play. The double play is an uncommon strategy since it's only used in the Raha Last Man Standing. The strategy allows for the fielding team to take 2 strikers out at once. For example, if one gets caught, they're both out. But this isn't the case in the real game because if one of them is caught, the ball is considered a dead ball and a dead ball cannot take a striker out of the game. Now, here is a demonstration of 2 techniques used for fielding and bowling.